Can you give us your view or vision relating to where the API infrastructure will evolve and what will be the company's needs in the API economy of the future?
Yes, so I think that there are three overarching trends that we're seeing. First of all, is just APIs becoming a more important design paradigm within the enterprise architecture. So if you think about, traditional monolithic development where you had one piece of code or one application kind of doing everything, now we're seeing the stack kind of being split into two. So you have the actual infrastructure layer. So if you think about a bank, that would be the actual account management, the wire transfers, the actual money transactions, the authentication, the security, all of that is infrastructure. And that is being developed and exposed as APIs. And then you have the application or the end user layer. So that would be the mobile app, the website, the ATM machines. And they're not actually infrastructure or interfacing with the infrastructure. They're just leveraging the APIs. So we kind of see a two-layered approach where you have some teams and some developers working on the infrastructure and exposing that infrastructure as APIs, and then other developers who are using that infrastructure and those APIs to build applications. And those could be Alexa skills or mobile apps or website or anything that company exposes. So I think that from an architectural perspective, that's the biggest trend that we're seeing. On top of that, we're seeing some other shifts. The first one is just the definition of what APIs is expanding. So we traditionally have seen APIs exposed as RESTful or SOAP-based technologies. And for those who are not as familiar with the API space, those are just types or languages of APIs that people have been using for a long time. But now we're seeing more types of APIs creeping into the architecture. So things like Kafka or GraphQL or socket-based APIs, all of those are becoming more and more popular in the enterprise. So I think that in the future, we're just going to see a lot more types of APIs that people are leveraging. And lastly, seeing a lot more deployment flexibility with where those APIs are. So if you think about, moving from that monolithic application to an application where you have a lot of different microservices and APIs spread all over the place, now those APIs don't just have to reside in one data center or one location, but they can actually be some on-premise and in the data center, some can be in the cloud, some can even be serverless functions or Dockerized workloads. So we see a lot more flexibility in where those APIs are running. So I think those are the three biggest trends that we're seeing in the space right now.